Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at Cosmic Star Heroine for the PC. The game was produced and developed by Zeboyd Games and was originally released in 2017. The game has also been ported to the PlayStation 4, the Vita and the Nintendo Switch. The game is a futuristic RPG that takes elements from Chrono Trigger, Blade Runner, Mass Effect and a whole load more. But is it any good or not? Here's what Cosmic Star Heroine has to offer. The very start of the game's story has you take the lead with Alyssa as she heads off to stop a terrorist organisation from blowing up a building that has hostages trapped inside. From here, your adventure has you travelling to other worlds as you uncover conspiracy, galactic threats, ghosts, killer robots, treachery and more. The game's story is an extremely good one, and one which realistically I wasn't expecting, and it took me by complete surprise. And while yes, the game's plot may not be perfect in places, and while it might feel a tad rushed in certain other parts, it's still a highly enjoyable story with many memorable moments to it. The plot itself can be a little crazy at times, with you being an agent at the start, fighting zombies, monsters, going rogue, fighting against giant robots, and going up against ghosts, and a whole host of other insane situations. But honestly, I absolutely loved it. With this game's cast of characters, there are a lot to choose from. Surprisingly, you get around 11 characters to choose from, and they're all very different from each other and all very unique in their own right. Be it from computer soiree hackers, fancy dressed disco robots, alien bounty hunters, they're all very different and they all bring their own personal type of crazy to the table. I really like this game's cast of characters because they're all very different and all highly enjoyable, but when put together as a group, they're all that much better. The character interactions for the games have really been thought out well here because they all click together with each other, and that isn't the same story for a lot of other games out there, where characters just feel thrown in and not really thought about. Even the game's NPCs all seem enjoyable, as I found myself talking to each and every single one of them to see if I could find all the hidden references to other games and movies tucked away somewhere in this game. While the game's characters aren't perfect, and while some possibly need a bit more spit and polish, I would say that they are indeed almost there. Cosmic Star Heroine's gameplay is that of your old retro style RPG system. The game takes some of the very best elements of older past titles such as Chrono Trigger, Shining Force and many others, and then incorporates them here into this game. Think Mass Effect merged with Chrono Trigger and then add sprinkles from various other RPGs, and that is essentially what you end up here with this game. When exploring the locations on the world that you'll be in, you'll be wandering around talking to others, going to stores, gaining new equipment, taking on new side quests, talking to NPCs, and all this while doing the game's main story. When combat happens, everything stays in the same 2D style format that it was to begin with, so no changing off screen to a different style layout or anything like that. Combat happens on screen as is, and with you having the ability to attack and choose from various other abilities that you'll gain during the progress of the game. The graphics for this game did upset me a little bit if I'm being truthful. You see, I am from the Master System era, and then that went on to the Mega Drive era, and then that went on to the Mega CD era. And when the Mega CD era came along, it's games like this that we were promised. Games which had beautiful animated cutscenes, games which were bigger and better with more colour and life added to them, and we just didn't get that because Sega essentially just abandoned the Mega CD after 1 year of being released. Now today in 2019, I see this game which was recommended to me, install it, start playing it, and I pretty much fall in love with it. But at the same time, the graphics do make me feel a little sad, because while looking at these amazing 16 retro style graphics with incredibly well created characters and cutscenes, it just makes me realise what was lost and wasted with the potential of the Mega CD and what could have been if it had only had games like this one. All the characters, environments and artwork were all created using the Unity engine, which shocked me at first when I found this out. Because with this type of game, most developers just use RPG Maker because it's there and it's easier to work with. The developer for this game, however, opted to use the Unity engine to create this entire game. It's really amazing what's being created here, as personally I wasn't really aware that you could create games like this with the Unity engine. The graphics for this game are just absolutely beautiful and shows that not everything has to be 3D to be pretty. Cosmic Star Heroine has various worlds which you'll go to exploring, and there's a lot to do on each planet. You'll be going through busy bustling cities, factories, forests, underwater headquarters, and many more along your adventures. All the game's locations are beautifully created and designed, from the Blade Runner-esque type cities to the deadly forests, with plant life wanting to eat you at every turn. There's been a lot of thought and effort put into creating each location, and I rarely saw any locations which looked identical to each other, which is rather impressive, because a developer could have just taken a shortcut here and used the old cut and paste method that a lot of other developers use when they use RPG Engine. And yet they didn't, and that alone is something to be proud of. So, should you buy Cosmic Star Heroine for the PC, the PlayStation 4, the Vita, or the Switch? No messing about on this one, yes, you definitely should buy this game for whatever system you're planning to get it on. Originally, this game was created by a Kickstarter campaign, and it's been a game that's been beautifully well made, right from the very start, right up to the very end. So much time, energy, work and love has gone into creating this game, and it really does show. That's not to say that the game is perfect, it still does have quite a few bugs in places here and there, which even today haven't actually been fixed. They're not game-breaking bugs by any means, but I do see people on the hub forums on Steam still complaining about these issues still being there. So while not perfect, Cosmic Star Heroine still is one of the most enjoyable games that I have played in a seriously long time, one which I cannot recommend enough. Would I recommend Cosmic Star Heroine? Yes, I definitely would. Well, that's it for this for you guys. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and please subscribe.